Okay, so tell me a little bit about what PYD is. How did it come about?
So PYD was founded in 1985 as a mentoring program. That is the cornerstone program at PYD. And in the 80s, I mean, if you think about it, this is 5 years before the passage of the ADA. But in the 80s, the youth mentoring movement started to gain steam in the United States. And what happened was that youth with disabilities were being systemically excluded from mentoring programs. So Regina Snowden, who is a social worker based in Boston, she was our executive director for 38 years until she retired. She worked with court programs, and between them, they realized that there was this incredible need, and that's how PYD got started with 9 youth.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. So like what services does PYD provide?
So now we have really grown to span. We started in the early teen years, and the mentoring program, a youth can even start before the teen years. But we arch the life of a youth with a disability from the early teen years all the way until they are adults and they join their first jobs or they start on their careers. So we do mentoring program from there, and that is, like I said, that starts in the early teen years. We have an after school and summer arts, theater, and music program, which is meant to help youth build community. We have a career readiness program, which is meant to help youth either after school or during the school do career readiness and pre-employment preparation. We have youth leadership programs, which help with self-determination, independent skills, daily living, adult skills. And then we also have some national programs. One of them is it's called the Career Readiness Academy. So it's a train-the-trainer model for teachers and other workers who want to train youth with disabilities in career readiness. And we have the Susan Daniels National Fellowship, which is the Susan B. Cohen Fellowship, which helps youth with disabilities who are college age or even after college age in the national spotlight, create community and talk about self-determination and important issues to the disability community.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm sorry, I always screwed up the name. It's a Dinah Cohen Fellowship.
that's thanks for correcting that. Anyway, what sorts of stakeholders do you partner with closely?
So we actually we work with a lot of stakeholders. We work with a lot of members of the disability community. We work with members of the mentoring community nationally. For example, we wrote the mentoring supplement for disability. We helped write it because to us, again, inclusion is incredibly important. We work with government agencies that are trying to increase the capacity and the inclusion of youth with disabilities. And with any organization, we collaborate with many organizations across the United States that provide services or want to increase the inclusion of youth with disabilities.
Mm-hmm. If you could talk to me a little bit about the impact that your organization has on communities as a whole, particularly the disability community.
They're workers who want to train youth with disabilities in career readiness. And we have the Susan Daniels National Fellowship, which is the Susan B. Cohen Fellowship, which helps youth with disabilities who are college age or even after college age in the national spotlight, create community and talk about self-determination and important issues to the disability community.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm sorry, I always screwed up the name. It's a Dinah Cohen Fellowship.
That's thanks for correcting that. Anyway, what sorts of stakeholders do you partner with closely?
So we actually we work with a lot of stakeholders. We work with a lot of members of the disability community. We work with members of the mentoring community nationally. For example, we wrote the mentoring supplement for disability. We helped write it because to us, again, inclusion is incredibly important. We work with government agencies that are trying to increase the capacity and the inclusion of youth with disabilities. And with any organization, we collaborate with many organizations across the United States that provide services or want to increase the inclusion of youth with disabilities.
Mm-hmm. If you could talk to me a little bit about the impact that your organization has on communities as a whole, particularly the disability community, that would be great.
I'm sorry, say that again.
What's the impact that you guys are having on the disability community as a whole?
So so let's start by saying that in numbers, we have served over 10,000 youth in the last 38 years. So we serve about 500 youth per calendar year. Our impact tends to be in metrics in terms of the capacity and the knowledge, the self-determination, how do you call it, how a youth feels about themselves and about their community. It's a really big part of what we do, and that those are very often qualitative measures that to us really mean a lot, because those are the parts of many programs can teach you just blind skills, right? And can just say, this is how you build your resume. But to us, the idea that a youth leaves and says, I feel better connected to my community, I feel more able or wanting to assert my rights more often, I want to be independent, I want to make my own decisions. These are all things that are impacted very strongly and very positively with the youth we serve.
Mm-hmm. Lastly, how do you create an inclusive and welcoming environment for everyone? Because I know there's a lot of work to do in that aspect. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, so the one of the things that we've done is acknowledging and understanding how exclusive the disability community has traditionally been, right? If you look at the disability movement, and just like many other movements, it tends to be just a small group of folks who may not have diverse or different identities that come from underrepresented communities. So we are doing a lot of work to go out to those communities, do outreach, make them feel included, train our staff so they feel that they have the knowledge in order to serve these communities with respect and understanding and knowledge. We also work very hard in making sure that we represent these communities. So 40% of our staff identify as having a disability. About almost 40% of our staff are individuals of color, of different areas. About the same number are folks who are LGBTQ. So for us, or trans. So it's really important for us to make sure that we represent the community that we mean to serve, and then go out there and connect with them.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.